This is a packed week for new game releases, and in today's video we're highlighting the top 12 new PS4 games coming out this week. So without further ado, let's get right into it with all the games we have to go over. It's gonna take a little bit, but I'll try to go through each game rather quickly. First up, and this might be the biggest game release of the week, we have Dreams by Media Molecule. Of course, if you guys are familiar with Media Molecule from Little Big Planet, you know what they're all about. They are all about games that highlight incredible creation tools, and that's exactly what Dreams is gonna offer. You're gonna be able to create, share, and collaborate on anything from games to gadgets, music to movies, puzzles to paintings, and more, all from your sofa. Dream anything, play everything, explore and play in an ever-expanding dreamiverse bursting with creativity. It's an extraordinary, ever-expanding game universe from the award-winning Media Molecule creators of Little Big Planet and Tearaway, where you can discover community-made games from around the world and learn to make your own. The latest evolution of the studio's play, create, share maxim, Dreams gives you the opportunity to unleash your creativity, bring your ideas to life with innovative, easy-to-use tools, then share them with a global community. Whether you want to create games, music, paintings, animations, sculpture, movies, or anything in between, Dreams is an extraordinary digital playground where anything is possible. Now, of course, this is going to be a game that definitely develops over time, and maybe initially it'll have some issues, but as people figure out how to utilize it, as a Media Molecule adds more tools, the game is just going to get better and better. And the games we've already seen that people have created, they have been rather good. I don't know if they're the games that are going to increase the longevity of Dreams to an extreme degree, but if the games also improve in quality over time, which I imagine they will, Dreams has a long life cycle ahead of it, and we've already been told north of 10 years is what they're looking at for Dreams as in terms of how long this game is going to stay alive, which is pretty incredible, but given its Media Molecule, I do kind of expect that to be a reality. Alright, next up, here's one that I'm very excited for. Yakuza is getting finished up on PlayStation 4 with the release of Yakuza 5. So we got Yakuza Kiwami, we got Yakuza Kiwami 2, we got Yakuza 3, Yakuza 4, Yakuza 6, and Yakuza 0, but now we're rounding out the series with Yakuza 5, and with the release of Yakuza 5, the Yakuza 3, 4, and 5 collection will also be coming to physical front, so you can check it out that way as well. If you played Yakuza, you know what these games are all about. They have a relatively high amount of content, and there's a lot to do in the Yakuza titles. The gameplay in Yakuza 5 is going to be relatively similar, but you've got a good story here, and if you want to experience the entirety of the story of Kazuma Kiryu, you should go through each game in chronological order. Start with Yakuza 0, work your way up from there, and then do play Project Judgment as well. Yakuza 5 is due out February 11th, and do remember that if you do want to get the game physically, you can get that as well, and that'll include Yakuza 3, 4, and 5, all in one collection for $59.99. So a little bit pricey, but given it's 3 games, I do think it's well worth it. Alright, next up, we have Underhero. Underhero is a game that to me is really cool. It's a 2D side-scroller RPG adventure game with timing-based combat, so no turns. Inspired by Paper Mario and other RPGs, it tells the story of a world where the chosen hero has failed, and an underling of the main villain takes his place as the new hero. It's got a very charming visual style, and it was already released on PC, and it was received very well over there. 333 Steam user reviews, 93% positive on that. $14.99 was the price point it released at, and all of that is rather good. If you're into side-scrolling RPGs that don't take itself too seriously, I really do think Underhero is going to be right up your alley. So definitely do give the game a look at this price point as well. It's going to be a great buy, but if you do want to wait for a little bit of a sale, I definitely wouldn't hold that against you. I could see this being down to, south of $5 relatively quickly. It doesn't seem like there's too much buzz for the game, but I personally think it does look rather good. Next up, we have Darksiders Genesis. Yes, Darksiders is making the transition to an action-adventure hack-and-slash RPG. Genesis gives players their first look at the world of Darksiders before the events of the original game. Furthermore, it introduces the fourth and last horseman in Strife, as well as cooperative gameplay for the first time in the history of the franchise. It's a lot of firsts for the franchise. It's much different than the Darksiders that you've played in the past. If you've played Darksiders 1 to 3, again, a hack-and-slash action-adventure RPG. Released on PC back in December, received very well over there with a 77 on Metacritic and a very positive reception on Steam. All of that is rather good, and I definitely would give Darksiders Genesis a big thumbs up based on what I've played of the PC version, but coming to PlayStation 4, definitely going to make it a lot more accessible for some of you guys that do want to play it on your console, and I imagine that the game is going to make a smooth transition to the DualShock 4 controller. If we can get Diablo on PS4, there's no reason Darksiders Genesis isn't going to make a quality transition, and this will be out February 14th. Next up, we have Spaceland, an incredibly dynamic turn-based strategy reviving the traditions of the old-school tactics. Lead a team of the most desperate fighters, destroy alien monsters, and uncover the secrets of the Lost Planet. Another game that released on PC back in September of 2019. It's a turn-based strategy RPG, so this is a game that might not be up everyone's alley, but definitely got vibes of a couple of other games. I think just by looking at it, some people are going to draw resemblances to a game like XCOM, and I definitely see that. The game is inspired by the best turn-based strategies of the old school Incubation, Laser Squad, and more. A unique blend of dynamic turn-based battles lasting 10 to 15 minutes make a squad from 7 Space Rangers, each with a unique fighting style. The story of the mysterious planet in the spirit of the golden age of science fiction, colorful hand-drawn map of the game world, assault rifles, machine guns, plasma guns, grenade launchers, as well as many other primary and secondary equipment to enhance your fighters. 20 different types of fierce enemies, from alien critters to vile monsters, upgradable futuristic equipment giving your fighters new special abilities, rich dialogues between your team members revealing unexpected plot details, colorful special effects that transform a turn-based battle into an exciting action, and of course, the party headliners, treacherous bosses at the end of each story chapter. And again, Spaceland will be due out on PS4 this week. Next up, we have Saboteur 2 Avenging Angel. Saboteur 2 Avenging Angel is the second part of the classic retro game hit Saboteur, made by Clive Townsend in 1987. Now, after 32 years, SimFabric in collaboration with Clive Townsend have prepared the special remastered version of Saboteur 2, and it's coming to PlayStation 4 this week. Next up, we have Reed Remastered, a pretty charming little game that'll be coming very cheap, $4.99. You'll have to collect cubes to save the virtual world. Long ago, in a beautiful and mysterious world, an old supercomputer created the digital world that is now breaking down. In a final effort to stop the impending end of the virtual space, a small creature named Reed was created to save the world. Help Reed collect information cubes in order to recalibrate the world and reboot the system. Avoid enemies and traps along the way to successfully move on to the next world. The virtual world now depends entirely on you and your platforming skills. Features 50 levels to conquer, beautiful pixel art graphics, ambient music while collecting cubes, unique traps across the adventure, and a lot more. Reed Remastered will be headed to the PlayStation 4 on February 14th, and again, at just $4.99. If you want a charming little title, Reed Remastered is definitely going to offer you that. Next up, we have Project Starship. Project Starship is a game that's releasing at just 89 cents, 99 cents on Steam. It might be priced differently on PlayStation 4, so we'll see how that turns out. But Project Starship is an arcade bullet hell with random mechanics. No match will ever be the same. Who will you be, Garrett or Gwen? Will you save the world from the mighty Cthulhu? The game was received really well on PC, 293 Steam user reviews, 84% positive, so do check that out if you're a fan of shoot-em-ups. Next up, we have Mosaic. Enter a world that's utterly surreal and eerily familiar. Escape the mundanity of your existence in an experience that will stay with you. Mosaic is a narrative-driven, modern adventure game with a story that lasts about 2 to 3 hours. Now, it is a game that's releasing at $19.99, so for some of you guys, that might be a little bit pricey, and I can definitely understand that. The game was received relatively well on PC, 71 on Metacritic, very positive recent reception on Steam. However, the all-time reception is a little bit more negative at 65% positive, so interesting to see how that turned out. Game was received rather well by critics, as I mentioned, 71 on Metacritic, but Game Informer gave the game an 8.75 out of 10. Indie Game Website gave it a 9 out of 10, so there's a lot of positives out of Mosaic, and it should be headed to the PlayStation 4 this week. Next up, we have The Adventures of 00 Dilly. Experience the adventures of 00 Dilly, the ultimate crash test dummy comes to life. Help Dilly show off his skills while shooting him across the Grand Canyon with strange devices, collect points, find treasures, and soar upward to the highest scores with Dilly. The game's coming February 12th, and it looks like a pretty wacky little title. If you're looking for something serious, I don't think The Adventures of 00 Dilly is going to give you that. However, it does look to be a pretty good game in its own right, so maybe something to check out here. Next up, we have Glass Masquerade 2 Illusions. If you're a fan of puzzle games, this is definitely going to be one to check out. It released on PC back in early 2019 for just $4.99, and it was received very well, very positive reception on 1,183 Steam user reviews, 93% positive on that. And all of that for $4.99 on Steam. I don't know if it's being priced differently on PlayStation 4, but that is a very good price point. So if you're a fan of puzzle games, definitely want to at least have on your wish list and maybe pick it up down the line depending on the price that it ultimately comes out at. And lastly, for you shoot-'em-up fans out there, we also have PAWARUMI. PAWARUMI is noted to be a modern shoot-'em-up set in a retro-futuristic sci-fi Columbian universe. You'll take control of the almighty ship Chukaru, and its 3 unique weapons. Shoot wisely to either do double damage, heal yourself, or charge your super attack. Again, another title that was released on PC, had a positive reception, 31 Steam user reviews, 93% positive, so if you're a fan of shoot 'em ups, much like Project Starship, PAWARUMI is going to be right up your alley, a little bit more pricey at $14.99, but it's also going to have a lot more content. And that's going to conclude this video. Again, this week is pretty packed. You've got games like Dreams, you've got games like Yakuza 5, you've got Underhero, Darksiders Genesis, and a couple of other smaller titles rounding out the lineup, and I think there's something for everyone this week. That's going to conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.